Welcome to Global Vision. I'm very, very excited to speak here with a LinkedIn expert in marketing and social media, Viveka von Rosen. And how do you
Rosen, yeah.
Von Rosen, yes. So welcome to Global Vision.
Thank you so much. It is an honor to be here.
Well, the first question is, who are you? Who is Viveka? Tell us about you.
In 15 minutes or less. I think I'm a serial entrepreneur that my whole life had been waiting for something like social media. I love teaching. I love training people. I love being on stage. I tried being a teacher, and that was not, like in school, a university professor, and that was not for me. So I think I had to wait until social media launched, 2004, 2005 to really find my space. But I love teaching people how to utilize some of the different, platforms and strategies out there so that they can grow and be the most that they can be online.
And what means Vengreso, and how did you start that company?
Yes, so it's a made-up word, ventas and ingresos. So our Spanish speakers probably understand that more than the English speakers. It's sales and revenue. So when we came together to create the company, we thought, well, we can be like, social selling experts, but who knows where that's going to take us and where social selling is going to go. And so we thought, let's make up a word. Google did pretty well. A word. So yeah, Vengreso is ventas and ingresos. So sales and revenue.
Wow, wonderful. Yes, definitely ventas and ingresos in español for us means something.
Exactly.
What means exactly Chief Visibility Officer? It's the first time I hear that that word, and I hear it from you. So
well, it's alliterative with Vengreso and Viveka, but really though, we were, there was about 10 of us who came together to form Vengreso. There's only 4 of us left, but all the good titles got taken. So Chief Sales Officer, Chief Marketing Officer, Chief Learning Officer, Chief Business Development Officer, they were Chief Customer Success Officer. They were all taken. And so Mario said, you're going to have to come up with your own title. So I did some Googling, and I think it was Coca-Cola had a Chief Visibility Officer. And I thought, oh, that's good, because at that point I had the most visibility in our company. I was speaking a lot. I was being interviewed a lot. I'd written the most books. And so we're like, okay, I'm the most visible, so I'll be the Chief Visibility Officer.
I love it.
Also aligns with my position as master trainer, head trainer. And then I'm also in charge of our personal branding section. So it all is about visibility.
It all made sense at the end. Yes,
exactly.
So how did you become an expert in LinkedIn, and you have 42 million people in your network? How do you do that? How do you keep up with that?
Yeah, it was timing. It was luck. I got in early. I got into LinkedIn early. I also got the Twitter handle, YouTube handle, LinkedIn handle, Facebook handle, LinkedIn expert. So what I always say is, like, I got the handle, I got the social handle, and then I had to spend the next 15 years proving it was true. So, and that's what I've done. I was able to get that LinkedIn expert moniker, and it's just been continuing to prove that it's true. Obviously being very active on LinkedIn, having written the books, being a LinkedIn learning author, all of that helps grow the network too.
And I mean, how do you use LinkedIn? What is the purpose and focus? Because you know that every social media is targeted for something in particular, but for our audience, what you will say that is the purpose of LinkedIn?
Yes. So it's obviously business focused, right? Whereas Facebook can be everything, Instagram can be everything. LinkedIn, you're not going to get on there and share, your holiday dinner unless you're a travel agent. So for us at Vengreso, and for me personally, my audience is there. My business audience is there. We're also very B2B focused, and the B2B audience is there. Business to business audience is there. But of course, it's very relevant for business to consumer, as well as government, as well as educational. But for us personally, it's B2B, business to business. In addition to that, it's such a great platform, because where Facebook lives and dies on the timeline, as does Instagram, as does all the socials, LinkedIn has a beautiful branding element in your profile. There's a lot more opportunity there to build your brand, your personal brand on LinkedIn. And then once you've built that physical brand, there's an opportunity to promote yourself as, a thought leader, an expert, a trusted advisor if you're in sales. There's an opportunity to create awareness if you're in marketing. Obviously, there's an opportunity to get a job if you're looking for one, but there's so much more. There's so many different features that you can utilize within LinkedIn for that branding as well as engagement.
And what kind of strategies you will advise for companies to drive them towards more growth and sales?
Yes. So first of all, individual profiles on LinkedIn are always going to get more engagement, but that's not to say that you shouldn't have a strong company presence too. And you really want to make sure that the two are married. So creating background images for the company page and for your employees that match up, creating, headlines, whether they're personal headlines or the headline on your company page that focuses on your buyer and, what you actually do for your buyer, instead of talking about me all the time. Bringing in through your updates and sharing, bringing in things about the company culture and employees and the customers that you've helped, and bringing informational content in instead of just buy our stuff. And then getting your employee base to help promote that content through the company page exponentially creates more awareness. And it, the rising tide floats all boats. What helps the company helps the individual contributor within the company too.
Interesting. And what it means for you exactly, personal branding?
And, I'm the walking, talking example of this. I was not a LinkedIn expert before I became the LinkedIn expert on LinkedIn. It was kind of, dream it and become it. But it really is, LinkedIn and your personal profile is such a great opportunity for you to position yourself, not only within your company as an employee of the company, but also, what are your dreams? What are your aspirations? If you're an entrepreneur, if you've got a side hustle, how can you pull that into your LinkedIn profile to really promote who you are in your industry? And then, as I said earlier, we want it to be focused on who your audience is and what their needs are and what their wants and desires might be and how you fulfill those, as opposed to just me all the time.
Wonderful. And just to conclude, what we can look forward in LinkedIn in the future? It's going to be any other social media that is going to compete with it? What do you think that is the future of LinkedIn?
Yeah, I think LinkedIn's future is pretty strong. Even Facebook has tried to compete, and I think it was called Workday or Work. I can't remember what it was called, but all the big socials have tried to compete with LinkedIn and they failed. And so I think LinkedIn will continue to be a very, very strong social site for businesses. And there will be other ones that come and maybe complement or get absorbed by. I'm thinking of like lynda.com that became LinkedIn Learning. So I think it will just continue to grow. And I think with Microsoft and the resources of Microsoft, it will also continue to add new features, which are of significant benefit to its user base.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Viveka. I think that for all of us has been a really educational piece. And so thank you so much also for the tips that you share, because particularly for the companies, this merge between the employee profiles and the company profiles, I think that it is very, very good point that you had there. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Bisila. Thank you.